Good Monday afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Thanks for joining us here on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Morgan Wolf. Now, a big story developing this afternoon. Wall Street having a big day after the announcement of the European Union that they are now suspending retaliatory tariffs on goods from the U.S. for 6 months. So those tariffs were set to take effect, and if they could not reach a trade deal with the United States. The deal puts a 15% tariff on most goods imported into the U.S. from Europe, and some goods are tariff-free. So there are no rates for key areas like pharmaceuticals or steel. Also today, 2 big bridge projects that you need to know about before you start your commute. Now, one of them is already getting underway early this morning. Take a look here at this aerial view. This is the Riverside Bridge in Minneapolis. It's already shut down and will stay closed now for 2 weeks. The bridge runs over, of course, 94. Bicyclists and drivers are going to be detoured via East Franklin Avenue and 26th Avenue South. Pedestrians, you'll take the 26th Avenue South Bridge to 9th Street. During that 2-week time period, crews will be resurfacing pavement and fixing the drainage. Another bridge that you might want to have to pay attention to is Highway 36 bridge over, of course, the St. Croix River. Now, that is one of the bridges that is connecting Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's very popular. Right now, MnDOT is removing some peeling epoxy coating on that bridge, and they'll be shutting down some lanes and ramps to get that job done. So they'll start on the eastbound lanes and then they will switch to the westbound lanes. The work is supposed to wrap up Thursday, but could be extended. Developing right now, dozens of Democratic lawmakers from Texas are in Illinois and New York trying to block a vote on a controversial redistricting map in their state. The lawmakers are looking to prevent the Texas State House from holding a vote today on new congressional maps that Republicans hope will net them several additional U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm elections. The lawmakers could face fines for this, and Texas Attorney General has threatened now to arrest them. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is also threatening to remove the lawmakers who left, but refusing to attend a legislative session is a civil violation, so it is not clear exactly how they would be arrested. Happening right now, severe weather is slamming parts of the country. Along the West Coast, wildfires like this one raging out of control in California, forcing people from their homes. That's on top of hundreds of wildfires currently burning in Canada, causing poor air quality across the U.S., including right here in Minnesota. NBC's Shaquille Brewster is in Chicago with details.
Hi there. Well, air quality alerts here in Chicago officially expired overnight, but despite that, when you look toward downtown, you still see somewhat of a hazy skyline as that Canadian wildfire smoke moves through the Midwest and is now headed east. But multiple states out west dealing with some wildfires of their own. Today, actually marking 1 month since the start of the Dragon Bravo fire that's closed down the northern rim of the Grand Canyon and has now become the largest fire in the United States, burning more than 116,000 acres. Meanwhile, a fire in central California tearing through some 40,000 acres. 3 people there injured, hundreds of evacuations as well. And then when you look toward the southeast, we're seeing those heavy and severe summer storms. One person actually killed from some flash flooding when his car was washed off the road. The threat of that flooding, the threat of those storms continuing into today as the combination of wicked and dangerous severe weather continues. Back to you.
Happening right now, a renewed call for answers 25 years after an 11-year-old boy was shot and killed in a North Minneapolis park. Kevin Brewer was riding his bike with a friend on August 3rd of 2000 when he was hit by a stray bullet. Police say that it happened following a fight between a group of men near Cottage Park. About 100 people were in the area at the time. Billboards went up after the crime, and also a 6-figure reward was offered. However, the crime remains unsolved. Reverend Jerry McPhee presided over Kevin's funeral and feels that the fear of retaliation is to blame.
The sorrow and the cloud that it leaves is lingering and lasting, still not solved. which is indicative of so much that happens in our community when there's a lot of people that's there. He was running around playing with his friends, what most 11-year-old boys do.
As for that reward, it is up to $150,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction in Kevin's murder. If you have any information, you should call Minneapolis Police. New today, we are hearing from the only surviving son of a woman known as Doomsday Mommy. Lori Vallow Daybell is spending life in prison for the murders of her two youngest children and a romantic rival. Her oldest son, Kobe Ryan, spoke out at her most recent sentencing and says there is no reason that Daybell needs to be part of his life now moving forward.
And the reason is because there's no rationality between talking to her. When you speak to her, you're not really talking to a normal person. And so there's nothing that I'm gonna get from her, even if there was an apology. There would be nothing that's satisfying or like, okay, I'm good. Like, I just learned to move on without needing that.
Vallow's husband, Chad Daybell, was found guilty of first-degree murder in Idaho. The judge did sentence him to death, but he is still alive currently. He is one of 8 death row inmates in Idaho right now. Security at the Minnesota State Capitol. It is top of mind these days after the assassination of Melissa and Mark Hortman and the attempted assassination of the entire Hoffman family. Just last month, State Patrol did arrest a man that they say trespassed the Capitol 3 times in 24 hours, and at one point even made it inside the Senate chambers. This is now pushing the issue even further into the spotlight. Even Governor Walz admits that the Minnesota Capitol lacks the kind of security measures used in other states. Tonight, Danny Spiewak takes a closer look at how Minnesota compares and the changes that could be coming.
During regular business hours, visitors can walk into the Minnesota State Capitol through 3 public entry points made up of 14 different doors. That remains true now, even after the lawmakers' shootings in June and a security breach last weekend.
Why are so many doors open all the time?
Governor Walz supports the Minnesota Department of Public Safety's decision to hire an outside firm to examine security at the Capitol.
We have to have the discussion. Are we going to use metal detectors? Are we going to talk about guns? I think we're going to have to be told by outside folks, look, we really respect your open culture, but we really believe that the risk is too high.
The number of entry points and lack of metal detectors or weapons screenings makes Minnesota's Capitol an outlier. According to the most recent analysis by the Council of State Governments, the majority of state capitals across the country, 37, have metal detectors. That includes Iowa and both of the Dakotas, although Wisconsin does not have them either.
Most places that I've been to, most federal facilities, they all have screening that occurs when people walk in.
Kevin Mueller is an expert in structural engineering who has helped bolster security at public buildings.
A lot of places now are starting to do larger kind of visitor entrance centers where, they are appealing, they're aesthetically pleasing. It's a nice place to go in. That's where you get screens, check in, then you're allowed into the building.
Minnesota does not have any type of screening at public entrances, either for weapons or identification. A handful of states, such as New York, require identification to enter the state capitol.
And it's the people's house. We also want to make sure that we keep it as safe as we can. We need to walk that balance.
Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson says his agency is consulting with the legislature to improve security.
Maybe make some changes and determinations on entry level points. When it comes to weapons screening, certainly I think that would provide an enhanced level of protection at the security at the state capitol, and we'll certainly consider that.
An advisory committee on Capitol security will meet later this month to discuss some of these potential changes. That committee has lawmakers from both parties included and can make recommendations to the governor and the legislature. At the Capitol, I'm Danny Spiewak, Kare 11 News.
Hey, heads up if you get Social Security or are a beneficiary, paper checks are stopping soon. As part of the Trump administration's effort to fully modernize federal benefit payments, save money, and then also fight some financial fraud. More than 500,000 Social Security recipients, less than 1%, need to choose another way to receive their Social Security benefits. That can either be direct deposit or through a prepaid debit card. The change goes into effect September 30th, and if you still need to receive a paper check, you can request a waiver. Some exceptions will be made, such as if you are 90 or older, have a mental impairment, or live in too remote of a location. Well, some sad news this morning. The TV world and the Twin Cities are remembering beloved actress and Minnesota native Lonnie Anderson. She died yesterday, just 48 hours before what would have been her 80th birthday. Reaction and tributes, of course, pouring in overnight. Here's a social media post from actress Morgan Fairchild, who says that she is heartbroken, adding, quote, "The sweetest, most gracious lady. I'm just devastated to hear this. Love and condolences to Bob, who was on set every day with her, and her kids and grandkids, who she adored." Here's a look back at Lonnie's vast legacy.
WKRP.
With her blonde, bombshell looks and quick wit, Lonnie Anderson lit up television screens in the late 70s and early 80s. Her role as Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati made her a household name.
Morning, Jennifer.
Morning, Herb.
Any calls?
No.
Messages?
Nope.
Mail?
None.
Okay.
Anderson flipped the script on stereotypes in the show, playing a secretary that was not only stunning, but smarter than everyone else in the room. Her performance earned her Emmy and Golden Globe nominations. Not bad for a girl born in St. Paul. She graduated from Alexander Ramsey High School in Roseville, and one of her childhood friends tells Kare 11, Lonnie was a smart girl raised by great parents who supported her career.
I'm busy.
Very. Very, as always.
In 1993, she sat down with Kare 11's Pat Miles, diving into her latest acting roles and also reminiscing on her roots in Minnesota. Lonnie never lost her Midwest charm, and that charm attracted movie star Burt Reynolds. They married in 1988. The It Hollywood couple shared a son together, but the relationship went south, ending in divorce, leading to a tabloid frenzy. As her friends say, Lonnie was very private, though, and would dodge questions about the divorce and Burt. She continued to act and raise her son and daughter. Eventually, she did remarry musician Bob Flick in 2008. Lonnie may have left Minnesota, but Minnesota never left her. She remains one of the most cherished celebrities from the state. Lonnie Anderson was 79 years old.
And we'll have more on Lonnie Anderson coming up tonight on Kare 11 News at 5. Stick with us here, though. We have more news and weather coming up after the break.